Welcome to Keeping It Realty. Welcome back to Keeping It Realty. I'm your host, Martha Smith.
And I'm your co-host, Natalia Parentoni.
Today, we're diving into new construction, the good, the bad, and everything in between.
And we are breaking it down for you. So, Martha, let's talk about the good side of the new construction.
All right.
Why do you think they purchase new construction or new builds?
Well, I think for the most part, everybody likes new. Everything new, right? You have a new roof. You have a new water heater. Everything
AC
is new.
unit.
Right. So that's
plumbing.
Plumbing. Exactly.
What about the warranties?
We have warranties. If anything breaks, you're under warranty. You don't have to worry about anything. So I think that's the main attraction of new construction. What do you think?
Yes, I believe so. I think that's why.
Okay. Let's talk about a little bit about the things that are included in the warranty for like the first year. Or can you tell us about warranties?
So usually the builder covers 1 year of the workmanship warranty, and then a 10-year structural warranty.
Right.
So the first year performance warranty includes like the cracked tiles or the loose tiles or flooring, the leaking fixtures.
Right. So like right before that first year, you want to start putting little blue tape on little cracks, little things that you're noticing so that you can call the builder back out and let them know, hey.
Like the doors, the trimming, like anything that you see inside, yeah.
Which is pretty common too with new construction. Houses settle, you know, so that first year there's going to be some movement.
Yeah, so that would be the 10-year structural warranty.
Well, that would be covered. Oh, is it the structural?
Yes.
I believe you're right, yeah. 10-year structural. Can you tell us about the 10-year structural?
So that coverage includes the shifting, right? The cracks in the ceilings that you see. The
foundation.
Roof, that foundation of the home. Floor framing.
Okay.
Etc.
So the more serious thing with the structural, and you'll have coverage for that. For the most part, I mean, some builders may offer a different amount, but I've seen 10 years for the most part.
Basically.
Okay.
And what's another great thing that, why do buyers go with new builds?
So with new builds, depending on how far you get into it, right? Because if you get a new build that's already built, then you're not going to be able to customize anything. But if you get in there early enough, you can customize like cabinets and flooring and, things like that. Now, there's two types of new construction. You have the custom build, and then you have the production build. Can you kind of go into the difference between those or talk about them?
Production build is more like, and I'm going to name a few of them. Lennar, D.R. Horton, the Pulte, they're more affordable. I would say they're quicker to move in. And then also they're limited to customizing your home.
A custom builder would just be building your home.
They have a full design studio where you get to pick the type of floor, the plan, like everything from color of the cabinet. What else? The kitchen. Anything
you want. It's a custom build, exactly what it sounds like. The trouble with that is that they usually tend to be a little bit more pricey.
Pricier, yep.
Right? Than a production builder.
And apparently it's harder to get a loan.
A loan, is it?
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about the not so good side. We talked about the good part about new construction. What's the not so good part?
I would say the timeline. Like sometimes there could be delays. They're going to tell you, hey, expected date, X, and it's like a month or two while you're over here with your buyer trying to get them into that new home. Another thing is not knowing what's it going to look like.
The quality,
right? Or the quality, yeah.
Some builders have different quality of build. They use cheaper materials, so.
Or sometimes it could look smaller than what you think it was built. Even the lot, where am I going to, there's just.
Another one is like the neighborhood. It's going to be under construction. You're going to be living potentially for the next year or so in a neighborhood that's all under construction with people working and in and out of, cars and stuff.
Exactly.
So those are all not so good parts of new construction.
You also can, one recommendation, whoever wants to do like new builds, is hire a realtor. Like it's okay to hire a realtor. A lot of people don't know this. They just go into that model home and look for a salesperson. But remember, that salesperson is representing the builder. They're not representing you. So once you have that realtor, they're going to be on your side. They're going to look for every single detail. They're going to help you schedule these appointments with these builders. You don't have to do anything. We do your work.
Absolutely. And for the most part, the builders have money already allocated to pay your realtor.
Correct.
So you don't have to pay your realtor. They're already going to get paid. It's not going to save you any money with the builder. Some people think, well, if I don't have no, they have that money for realtors. And if you don't have a realtor, then the builder just pockets it.
Yeah, we get bombarded. Like, please bring your buyer into my builder homes or community, and we're here for it. As long as the buyer, is looking for that community, we'll get you in there and with the best incentives, right?
Absolutely. So another thing that I wanted to touch on is when you have a realtor, you meet with your realtor and you tell them what you're looking for and what locations, what type of house. That realtor's job is to go and look for the builder that's offering the best incentives, that's going to meet the criteria you're looking for. So they're going to do all that work for you and take you to the builders that have the best incentives at the moment, that offer what you're looking for, and all of that. So it's a no-brainer. Hire a realtor always when going to new construction. And we're not just saying that because we're realtors. It's the honest truth.
So, and then let's go in depth with a little bit of the incentives with the builders, right? They could, I think you mentioned up to like $45,000 with the builder because there were.
It depends. They run different type of incentives. Sometimes they drop the interest rate. You have to use their lender. But their lenders usually will have the best interest rates because they're able to control and buy it down. They'll give you money for design. They'll give you 15, 20.
Or they even waive off the premium lot. There's a sale going on.
And again, your realtor will help you negotiate all these things. When you go there and you talk to the salesperson, they're very nice. And, I'm not gonna badmouth the salesperson, but they work for the builder. Their job is to get the most amount of money for this property and sell it. They're making their commission regardless. So.
Exactly. You want to tell us a little bit of what just happened to you recently?
Really short.
I love story time with Martha.
A little short story. So I was just working with a client who was looking for an investment property. She wanted to be somewhere in Orlando to, rent the homes near the parks. And we found a builder. I'm not going to name any names, but the builder was offering 5% commission. And we were like, wow, that's great. I'll
go for it in a heartbeat. How many clients can you get?
my client, though, could not close in May, which is the month. She wanted to push the closing just to be able to gather her funds because she was going to be giving a large down payment so that, she didn't finance so much money. And the builder was like, oh, if she doesn't close on this month, then you're not going to get, the 5%. It's going to be less.
Super pushy.
Kind of pressuring me, to get my client to do, which that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not going to ever do anything that's not what my client wants to do. So I was honest and I told my client what was going on. And my client was like, you know what? I don't like that at all. We were still going to buy not one, but two properties with them. And the fact that they're just playing with your money because I need to push it an extra month. So she decided to leave altogether and go buy somewhere else. So I called the salesperson and very politely tell her we're going to go move somewhere else with our business. My client no longer wants to purchase a home here. And she sends me a message and she's like, oh, I just spoke to my manager and they're going to go ahead, honor the 5% no matter when they close.
Right.
And then I told my client that, of course, and my client was like, it's up to you. And I was like, no, we're definitely leaving. We're going to do whatever it is you want to do, the commission notwithstanding. So that was something that just recently happened. And that just goes to show how these salespeople work, Mm-hmm. They're not on the buyer's side is the point to that story.
No, not at all.
Okay.
So let's get back to it. So the buying process, right, with the new construction, meeting your realtor, right, hire a realtor, research the builder. That's important. And also the community. What's around in that community?
What's coming?
Yeah, what's coming? Do you have good schools? Do you have a supermarket? Did you have a community or amenities? That was another one too. Do I have a pickleball court? That's up and coming.
CDDs, HOAs, these are fees that you're going to have to pay. Does the community have that?
Exactly.
What type of incentives?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Cool.
Good points. And then after that, we go tour homes.
Yeah, but also, wait, I'm sorry, back it up.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to these new build communities, you have these model homes. Tell me about all this model homes.
Yeah,
Fall in love, right?
So remember, the model homes are there set to wow you. So they hire designers and decorators to deck these houses up. They look beautiful. And a lot of the times they'll do like walls and things that aren't included. So be aware, make sure that you understand that this model home, even though you're buying the same home, it's not going to come with all the bells and whistles that the model homes have, because that's all extra.
All extra. That's base.
Yeah.
And then it increases.
Right. So let's talk about base price versus, the upgrades.
So let's say the home is a $350, right? You go in there, you talk to the salesperson, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is the base price. If you want to include
tile in the living room instead of carpet,
correct,
it goes up. If you want to add this, it goes up."
So always have that mindset.
Right. So that's another reason why having a realtor to explain this and kind of go over it with you would help, because a lot of people, they'll go online and they'll say, "Oh, this builder, it has this beautiful brand new home for $400,000," and then you get there and it turns out that it's $450, $460 because
it doesn't have
the lot, wasn't taken into account, and different upgrades weren't taken into account.
Or different areas. Yeah. So the next thing is picking the lot.
Right.
What's location? If you got the corner unit, or if you have any neighbors in the backyard, or do you have a view, right, with a waterfront view, whatever it is that you want to choose.
Absolutely. Some builders will include the lot premium. Other builders will not. So you get to pick your lot, pick your house, and all of that is just,
Inspections also is huge. People don't think that, oh, it's a brand new home, we don't need an inspection. Wrong. Get an inspection done. Even a drywall inspection too.
And I've done both. I've had people buy new constructions and we haven't gotten an inspection because my buyers wanted to save the money, didn't have, or whatever reason. And I've had instances where buyers do choose to have an inspector, and every single time there's always something that the inspector finds every single time.
Exactly. So it's better to be safe than sorry.
I think so, yeah.
And then we create a list. I guess it's called a blue tape walkthrough. Do you want to explain a little bit what the blue tape? It's fun.
So the blue tape, after you've picked out your kitchen and you're at the process where you're about to close, about a week or so before closing, you walk the house with a person from the builder.
Yep.
Right. It's usually like a project manager.
It's like a construction manager,
person. And they'll go around the house and you'll have some blue tape and you'll just tape things that you notice, trim that's missing, or
they didn't even sand the door correctly, or
a little patch, or maybe paint is missing. So you go around just blue taping everything. And they'll go back and fix it. And this is a time also where they'll show you how to work all your appliances.
It's a new orientation, is
like
what
an
they
orientation,
call it. Yeah.
right? So and then after the blue tape and after they fix, what's next?
Our favorite day, closing day.
It's the closing day.
Closing day. So we do have that final walkthrough right before closing, just to make sure that everything that was done in that blue tape walkthrough was corrected. And if not, they would do that within that week once they move in. So yeah, that was the fun part.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So we got to do our little rapid fire questions.
Yes,
it's just me and you, but we're going to test the listeners. Are we?
Yeah, do it.
All right. So true or false, listeners? Do you need a realtor to buy new construction? Leave us a comment.
What's the biggest hidden cost buyers overlook?
Ooh, you answer this one.
I would say the gutters. I mean, a lot of builders don't even include gutters. That's and it's so important because,
Yeah, if you don't have gutters, guys, and it's raining here in Florida in the summer, it rains so much, this water is going to start digging a trench underneath your house. You need gutters, and builders do not include gutters.
Yeah.
So yeah. What else? Favorite upgrade that's actually worth money? I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I would say if you can add like a bathroom or like a little lanai.
Oh, I like that.
Things that would add to the value of the home. Always think resale. Like you're going to live here for a couple of years, and then when you're tired of it,
max 5, right? Usually is what it is. And then
whatever it is, just always think, if I want to sell this house, what are other buyers going to want in the house? And that's what's going to add to your resale value.
Okay, most overrated upgrade.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I think the most overrated, and I know this for a fact, is all the fixtures.
The light fixtures?
Sink fixtures, like all the cheap little knick-knacky things in the house,
Yeah.
the builders, like you upgrade it to if you go to Lowe's or you go somewhere
Amazon,
else, you could get it for
it.
so much cheaper. I think that is the most.
Yes. Okay, so would you buy new construction for yourself?
Would you buy new construction?
Yes.
I would.
Yes and no. Like I feel like a new build, yes, you get everything new and everything, but maybe like a resale home, like it would be
I have
more
nothing
like,
against resales. But
nothing against it, but it has more character. I feel like you can do much more.
And it's been lived in, you know, it has everything. You can find some really
Well,
good
if
resales.
you like Ghost, you know what I mean?
Oh
You can
my
live
gosh. All right.
I'm not going to say, I'll stick with the smell.
You got to watch find the episode that we talk about the ghost house.
But anyways, okay, go ahead.
I think that's it for today's episode on new construction. We hope that you guys found this useful.
Yes. And that's why, I mean, we honestly made this episode just for you guys to leave us any questions about new builds.
Yeah. There's a lot of incentives now with the new builds and a lot of good opportunities. So if you guys are interested, make sure you message us, keepingitrealty@gmail.com.
And follow us on our social media, Keeping It Realty.
See you next time on Keeping It Realty.
Thank you all for tuning into our podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at keepingitreal_T and share this episode with all your friends.
If you guys have any questions and topics that you guys would like for us for future episodes, let us know. Shoot us a message. We would love to hear from you guys.
See you next time on Keeping It Realty.